welcome back everyone to X-Wing World Championship Top 8, the final 8 players. You're watching Gold Squadron podcast. I'm so excited again. Huge stakes on the line here. Just a few rounds left before we crown a new world championship. Daniel Taylor, Jonathan Koch. And just a reminder, if you're just joining in on us, we're sponsored by Curl Paw Creators for this week. We've had content now for 4 straight days. Use the promo code WORLDS2019 for 15% off your order. These 2 players are going to be using tokens from there the entire game. So if you need new tokens, if you want the best tokens, go to curlpawcreators.com. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off for the next 75 minutes to Chris. And Chris here. Chris, why don't you lead us in?
All right. So it looks like we got Daniel Taylor flying a Rebel Efficiency. You don't see the typical U-Wing or the Leia that you typically see with Rebels. But it looks like he's mixed it up. We got Wedge with Crackshot and S-Foils. Braylon with Crackshot and Jamming Beam. Jake with Crackshot. Blount with Crackshot, and a Bandit. And then there's also Jonathan from the Netherlands. He's flying Fen Rao with Crackshot, and Boba Fett with Fearless, Jamming Beam, Darth Maul, Proximity Mines, a hull upgrade, and Slave 1. So immediately, looking at this, Jonathan's got to be worried about all those arcs that Daniel can cast out there. And especially with Wedge, able to reduce Boba's agility. Like, the rerolls don't matter if he's...
Turns out when you only roll 1 die, you can only get 1 of 8, no matter how hard you try.
It's true.
Also, I've been practicing. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, this is, I have to say, not the matchup I expected to be in the top 8. It's pretty cool to see.
This kind of came out of nowhere. Daniel Taylor flew Rebel Beef in the Seattle System Open, the kind of classic Leia Wedge Braylon that you used to see with Denim. So I wasn't sure what he was going to be flying at Worlds, but this is kind of an interesting pivot. And I think it's doing much better than, I mean, I would look at that on paper and I wouldn't expect it to really do as well, but Daniel's just an excellent player. So it looks like they're setting up and they're getting started here. They're just about to.
I'm really impressed that Jonathan made it this far and is doing so well with what looks to be a very, very, very high-risk list.
That is a very high-risk list. I mean, you're able to have some, changes with Boba Fett with the Slave 1, and he's got a 18-point bid on that.
Yep.
So he's really able to kind of control Boba and see the field out and manipulate Boba's moves afterward, but it's just very... I mean, you can't make a mistake with that list. If you make a mistake and you get caught, that's just going to end everything.
Yeah, especially, and the Fen Rao with Crackshot's also very surprising. I mean, we see the standard Fearless so often, just because Fen Rao often ends up range 1 in people's arcs. But Crackshot makes me wonder if he's usually trying to flank very wide with Fen Rao and pull it off out of arc, or what the deal is there. I'll be very curious to see what happens.
Yeah, or maybe he's just trying to bid deeper. He thought that maybe there was going to be more people bidding deep with Nantex, something like that. I could see him bidding deeper for that and switching off of Fearless for Crackshot. So it looks like dials are going down and timer is about to start.
That sounds like the start of time, which is my job. Nami's job. Thank you, Nami. There we are.
All right.
So
there's the handshake.
Yeah, we see Jonathan starting off in the bottom entirely here. So I have to admit, I have never played with something like Fen Boba.
I mean, I flew Boba Fen in like L3 back in the early heyday of 2nd edition, but I had pivoted off of that pretty hard after the Han Gunner nerf, so I'm not sure. I didn't expect to see anything like that. So he must be really excellent at flying it.
Yeah, I'm curious, is he going to split them up immediately and make Daniel try to pick one of the aces to pick and hopefully not be caught at all, or?
So, I mean, ideally, I think he wants to drag the Rebels kind of down through here. So, I mean, bringing Fen this way and Boba up this way. Now the Rebels are suddenly having to choose, and whoever Daniel really bites onto, he's able to get into the back with the others.
Yep.
But I'm not really sure.
So I have to ask, you've played against Daniel before. I mean,
yes.
You guys are roughly in the same geographic area. So I would expect Daniel to take these guys, see if I can not screw up the telestrator, basically come up around this way and then refuse to leave this edge of the board.
Yeah.
and make Boba and Finn Rao come to him.
Yeah. I think that's going to be Daniel's game plan here. Is just to kind of slow roll it, like you said, just really be patient and just kind of plod along up here and just wait until he really has an idea of where Boba and Fenn are going to choose to engage him, because Jonathan is he's on the clock, right? He has to do something about this because the final salvo goes to Daniel. So
yes, very handily.
Yes, or should. We'll see how Jonathan decides to approach this.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Is this Braylon, I assume, right here?
Mm-hmm.
Is set up facing this way.
Yeah.
Is he gonna? He went one straight just now. I wonder if he's turning in hard because he's got going the entirely opposite direction of everything else.
Yeah. So
this looks very pre-scripted and set up though, so I assume it's all going to make sense very soon.
Daniel has been practicing like crazy. For those of you who don't know, Daniel Taylor is actually the 3-time Imperial Assault World Champion,
Yes.
back to back to back. So he's the Paul Heaver of Imperial Assault.
He's and beaten Paul Heaver at Imperial Assault in those finals more than once, if I remember correctly.
So he's an excellent player, and when they announced that game was complete, he pivoted to X-Wing, and he's not looked back, and he's just been
he's been tearing it up.
He's been tearing it up.
Won or second place the System Open Seattle?
He won the System Open in Seattle against Bunn.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember if that was the finals or the top 4.
Yeah, that was the finals. So he did that, and then he had just gotten second in Atlanta System Open, I think the week prior. And he's
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Get second and then first at 2 back-to-back System Opens. Thanks, Dion.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
So it looks like Boba and Finn are going to split up down here, which makes sense.
It does. Because I think Daniel's going to have to really he's going to have to approach this very patiently, and he's going to have to cast some wide nets. So I'm expecting this bandit to kind of turn in here and just cast an arc over here just to keep Fenn honest. Because Fenn will take damage from those low range 3 pot shots.
Even from his E95.
Exactly.
Or, he doesn't usually, but it's not worth 25% of your Finn Rao to lose that bet for no reason.
Absolutely. And especially when Jonathan only has these 2 ships, he's really got to be careful and conserve his points. So I'm expecting Jonathan to know that. Looking at Jonathan's approach here, he's got this nice gas cloud right here, and he can really leverage that into some protection for Fenn. And he can use that to kind of approach and decide to kind of come up here and sit and wait and see what Daniel does. And if Daniel doesn't bite, he can come out this way. But if he does kind of come in.
Yeah, if Daniel turns in, he can go the opposite way, basically.
Exactly.
Easy enough. And then hopefully, by then, Boba is, somewhere around here and then can turn in if he needs to and be behind all these Rebel lists, this whole Rebel list that doesn't have Leia.
Yep.
Which is now suddenly an advantage instead of mostly meaningless.
Yep.
I do really like the addition of Maul, which basically just replaces Han Gunner almost entirely. It's nearly exactly the same thing.
Yes.
It costs 6 more points, but then...
But, you do effectively get like the 2 calculates with the Force. You have to stress yourself to get it back. But
right.
Boba
which
with
Han stressed you anyways. And this way, if you don't need the second calculate, great. You don't even need to stress at all.
Don't need to worry about it. And with those rerolls and just the passive modification that Boba gets, he's going to really, I think, approach it patiently, but get into the scrum to make sure he's getting those rerolls. So... looks like a barrel roll from Braylon that doesn't fit, trying to kind of cast a wider net on the far side of that bottom left gas cloud. So Daniel approaching very patiently like we expected, really just letting Jonathan decide where this engage is going to happen. Daniel seems more than happy to go into the rocks and take this engage. He's got a really kind of wide net here, which you don't see from a lot of the Rebels, or at least you didn't from the Rebel Beef. You used to use.
And the nice thing here is Daniel doesn't have any of the, like aura style effects. There's no need to keep things at range 1. It's, it's a disadvantage to run your things in a block, especially against an ace list like this, against a good player, because you're just all in. And, if I guess correctly, I win the game, and if I don't, I lose, which is not a winning tournament strategy.
No, yeah, and I think Daniel's learning that really well, and so he's just letting his ships act kind of independently and just casting some nets and making sure that he's got to keep Jonathan honest here. So I got the one bank from Boba up the board, who's just kind of watching and seeing what Daniel's doing. I think that's a good approach. Both players very patient right now.
Did he clear that debris?
What was it?
Did he clear that cloud there?
Mhm.
Okay. Really weird from my angle.
So, unsurprisingly, Jonathan decided to give Daniel first player, so Wedge
Mhm.
would be moving before Finn. So that's one saving grace here for Finn Rao, but this is a very scary place to be for Finn. There's no mind link to give him all the focus in the world he wants here. He gets one, and that's about it.
Yep.
And any of these shots from this list can do a lot of damage. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, people like to ignore 3-die shots and pretend they don't count, but even at like range 2 or 3, Finn takes a damage from a Z95 like a third to a half of the time.
There's no
it's
auto
not a good
thrusters
look.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's right here. That's the only auto thrusters he's got.
Yep. So, I mean, I expect he's going to be using Fen with that gas cloud. Oh, and the one turn here from Fen. So keeping them a little bit more together.
Yeah, and I wonder, what do you think of so if he's going to take Boba up, you know,
Mhm.
let's say somewhere like up here, the
Mhm.
only places in front of him, would you keep your Finn Rao and just hide him in the corner down here? You know, do the Aether Sprite style one-turn barrel roll, and wait for the rebels to come to you?
I think so. So I'm looking at this, and what I'm seeing is you can barrel roll kind of this way, and it puts you over here. And then next turn you're able to turn, and you can barrel roll back to this position.
Yep.
And then you're just able to kind of stall out, and you can use this gas cloud if you need to. You can use this gas cloud if you need to.
Oh, totally
well,
wrong.
Yep. Nope. Ignore me. I mean, this is also quite good because it leaves both these turns open.
Right.
And so now Daniel really has to guess, does he think that he's going to be aggressive with Fen, or does he think he's going to kind of get
Right.
out? And
the closer they get, the higher risk it is for Daniel to be wrong. Because if Daniel guesses that Finn's going to, you know, bank out or turn out over here, like this way, and he goes in hard and his entire list ends up, you know, in a block here, Finn Rao can, it's not particularly likely, but he can just remove Z95s for getting too close to him.
Yep. And without Fearless, he doesn't have quite as much modification. And, I mean, one of the real downfalls I felt of Fen, but, you know, clearly he's making top 8 and I'm not, was that those 5-die shots that he gets, they're devastating when you roll the paint
Right.
that you need. And if you don't, it can, I mean, I would just always get tilted rolling, you know,
Right.
1 or 2 hits on 5 dice. But you don't get that target lock focus anymore.
And Crackshot's very similar to Fearless in most situations, except
Except it's once. It's
yeah,
similar to
once per game, exactly.
So he can really do a decent amount of damage on one shot, and maybe that's all that he's going to be looking to do is just kind of get half points on something and then play squirrely the rest of the game. But I'm worried about Boba because Boba, he's able to be a little bit more unpredictable because of Slave 1, but he's still a medium base, and he's only got that boost, and Daniel has enough ships that he's able to cast nets that Boba's not going to be able to perfectly avoid.
Right.
And especially with Wedge moving after Boba, and Wedge being able to boost or barrel roll, depending on his S-foils. Like, Wedge can put in a lot of work against Boba.
Yeah, especially, I mean, even a boosting Wedge is scary to Boba. You know,
Mhm.
11 health feels like a lot when you're playing against Boba, but when you're playing as Boba, you realize that's a resource that runs out very quickly.
Yes. And, I mean, it's 11 health out of a 15 health list.
Yes.
So it's every hit point there counts. So I think Boba really has to be wary of this Wedge. And I think Daniel's doing a good job of just setting up Wedge, and he can kind of go forward. He can boost this way. I don't think the 2-turn fits there, but he can watch what Boba does, and if he just goes forward and
Well-
Boba decides to kind of come in this way, he's able to just really punish that.
Well, this is Jake here, right?
Yes.
And his S-foils are closed.
Close currently.
So he can even, Wedge does not have, R4 astromech or anything.
Mm-mm.
So he can even do like weird boosts and things though around the cloud.
Well, Jake just passes a focus, right?
Yeah, and you can link boost. Or
Oh, no, it's focus into it.
is it?
Or it's boost into a focus.
Oh, it's boost. All right, no, don't listen to me. I said nothing. Wrong, Chris. Is it really? That's
I'm
embarrassing.
pretty sure it is.
It's easy enough to check. It is. No, focus link boost.
Oh,
I was right. I was confident in my answer the entire time.
ignore me. I was wrong.
I don't know that it's particularly useful this turn, but it's a very good trick in general.
Yes.
Because if you're not aware, you can focus, link boost before you activate, and then flip your S foils open, and then now suddenly roll out with the target lock with wedge. And
you do a blue,
the
you
pain
clear that
train's there.
stress. You take the target lock, and suddenly you're getting double modded shots with, crack shot, which is, I mean, all these crack shots are able to really do work on Boba because it's much easier to get those medium bases lined up on a
even
bullseye.
Finn's scared. Like,
Oh, yeah.
bullseye shots just happen,
Mhm.
especially against Finn Rao.
And I mean, Concordia doesn't save you when you're canceling an evade.
Yep.
So we'll have to see. So Daniel looks like he's casting a nice wide net here, just making sure that he's got these nice arcs set up, so that if Fenn does try to come in here, which I don't think that he's going to, but
Because the best you could do, like, let's say he dialed in the most aggressive move possible, like a 3-bank. That's not even kind of correct. Like a 3-bank, land him in this general area. He could try to, get behind this cloud and somewhere around there. But even that, like, I'm not comfortable with that level of risk with Finn, because then you'll be here and stressed, and then suddenly these Z95s and Braylon are right on top of you. And if they block you, you'll probably die.
Absolutely. You get the Concordia face-off from all of these if they're shooting at range 1, but no modifiers other than that. It's still very, very risky.
Nope. Listening to Daniel. Passing a focus to wedge.
And looks like he is going to link into that boost.
Hey. Looks like he just wants the
Nice
extra
commentary,
ground.
Chris.
Every now and then I can get something right.
So
God,
with that, I'm expecting the 2-bank here because that's going to clear his stress, and it's really going to let him, especially now. He can open those S-foils, he can 2-bank, and he might have range there. And if you can take a target lock, that's going to be a hard
probably be a
punish on
bullseye
Boba.
shot too.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't covered that's really important, I think, I'm not sure how familiar people are with Boba Fett with Slave 1 and proximity mines. But because of the medium-based boost on all these ships moving before him, it is very trivial to boost over people, take a range 1 rear shot, and then prox mine them if they happen to still be alive. And there's very little that you can do about it. So let's say next turn, if this Z95 comes up here, and Boba dials in like a fast turn or whatever, and can come up here or here because Slave 1, and I'm exaggerating the distance there because they're too far away to do it this turn. But it's something you have to be extremely aware of, because if you get boosted over from Boba, you're going to take a damage. You're going to take 2 dice, which you don't get to roll agility against, and you're going to take a 4-die shot out the back of him. Which, I mean, he doesn't have Marauder, so there's no back arc reroll, but you're at range 1, so he gets at least 1.
Yep. And he's got them all for the other passive mod, so you're going to take the damage from the shot.
Wow.
And then you're taking one. Ooh, this is very aggressive.
This is very aggressive.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, honestly.
This is a level of risk tolerance that I'm not comfortable
with.
Yes,
I'm not comfortable. If I was playing top 8 in Worlds, I would be very nervous about this. But he's there and I'm not, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, not being comfortable with it doesn't mean he's wrong.
Yep.
If anything, I'm sure he's much more comfortable with the situation than we are.
Yeah. There's that.
And I wish we knew more about Jonathan. I believe he's French?
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Oh, I'm so colorblind. Or I think their flags are similar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same colors.
I'm just going to keep digging my hole, Dion. Dig deeper and deeper.
Dig up, Chris. Dig up.
He's making shovel motions at me. Okay, so Finn Rao opts out.
Yeah, and I think that's a safe. He can, you can roll out this way, right? And then what that lets you do is it gives you like kind of the bank in, or you got the turn in options. And he has to guess, and you're able to reposition, right? So if Daniel doesn't bite hard on Boba, which at this point seems like he might. But if he doesn't and he decides to, try to keep Fenn honest, kind of banking this way, he can barrel roll this way, right? And he can still get that cloud. Or he can, if Daniel goes down this way, he can come this way. And then suddenly it's just a no-win situation. So I really like that Fenn position here. Yeah. From Jonathan.
So this Boba shot's really scary because Boba effectively has 0 agility because of crack shot.
Yeah.
But actually, though I'm looking at, he has the nice, fast turn he can dial in and get up here. But Slave 1 won't save him with that debris there. I mean, it'll help, but, Jake is presumably just going to come, hang out, and land exactly there.
Yeah.
And so say, you can't be here.
He can spend the force here, but Daniel Taylor with crack shot, if he spends it, it's essentially for nothing. I mean, granted, it's 1 force that's going to come back, so he may as well spend it.
Right, and just getting crack shot off the board will help Finn a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what we're seeing. Yep, and crack shot's used.
Yep.
So that's 3 damage through immediately.
Yep.
So
thank you. So I believe he's thinking about mauling a force back or not, which is pretty reasonable here. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not thrilled about the stress, but it's not the end of the world as well.
No, your one bank here is pretty safe. I mean, Jake has a really good kind of block angle coming in here. He can
Right.
2-bank and force. Yeah,
Yep.
looks like he's recovering it. He wants it for the shot back. I can't tell what the angle if Boba has. Or Boba doesn't have crack shots. Fen has crack
Yes,
shots.
it's
Never mind.
Fearless.
Ignore me again. So he's shooting back at Wedge here. Range 2. Wedge with no mods.
Oh, another hard decision to make.
Yeah, because you got more shots coming in on Boba here. Yeah, I
Yep.
think it's wise you choose not to spend it. I think you keep that for defense because you've already lost almost all your shields. And if just a couple of crits come through on Boba here, that could be game changing.
Yep.
Like if a panic pilot comes through,
Yeah,
that's-
then he's
it's-
just game losing.
it's devastating because Boba just becomes very
Speaking
predictable.
of crits,
Yep, there it is. So,
ooh, safe
lucky.
ish.
Yep. So he's going to take another shield here. If I can find my mouse. There it is. So shield's down on Boba, and suddenly that 11 health ship
Oh,
is
and now
at
he's
7.
choosing to double stress.
Oh.
Wow.
This is very aggressive here on that stress. But, I mean,
There's a lot of shots, yeah.
Jonathan's playing it, and he made this aggressive choice, so we'll see. So we have a range 3 from Blount here.
Oh,
Wow.
there's another scary
Keeps
crit.
getting these hit crits.
There's a one evade.
Yeah, so no matter what,
Okay.
it's forcing
so
him to spend the force, though.
yeah. I think Daniel's thrilled about this exchange already.
So Jonathan's trying to use Maul here, but he didn't take any damage.
Yep.
Oh, is that not
Ooh.
obstructed?
Wow.
Oh,
He said it
that's-
confidently, so I believe him.
They have a better view than we do.
Oh,
Oh, wow. He keeps rolling these crits. And, yeah.
there it is.
So, with no mods, he's got a natties. Oh,
Easy.
Easy
No
clap.
problem at all.
Can we get,
You can't audio Twitch emote. That's not how this works.
can I get some easy claps in chat?
Wrong target audience. So
I'm
one
assuming
last
that
shot
is.
coming in from a Z.
Oh,
Ooh.
that does it, though.
Takes 2. So that's going to be
That's-
half on Boba.
That's half on Boba, and that's big because suddenly now Daniel is
Yeah, you get the natties here.
you get the natty
You don't get
evades.
the easy clap.
Oh, there's an easy clap. I see one.
They tried.
They tried. It's the resistance.
There is a GA 175 in play, and it's the resistance just went off. So that giant cheer you heard was.
Can we get it's the resistance in chat? Yeah, there we
it
go.
is.
He's been doing that all tournament, all through
That
Swiss,
was-
whenever it does it, and everybody just erupts. It's
Yep.
it's one of the greatest things. So if you're Jonathan here, looking at this turn with his 2 stress, I guess you're just running Boba stress now, right?
Yeah, you just
I-
have to accept it.
Yeah. So I mean,
Because his blues are good. They're not that good.
they're not
though.
terrible, but
yeah,
I mean, all that you've got is like the 1 bank and the 1 forward here. You're moving before Wedge, so you're able to land there.
Yep.
But Wedge has got like a pretty easy 4K here.
Right, and he gets a focus for it too. which is
exactly.
great.
Yeah, Jake.
Yigs? What's happening?
Jake's gonna come. He's gonna 2 bank here, and he's gonna give Wedge the focus. And so
Yeah, the interesting thing is, where do you boost your roll here? Because the 2 bank lands like there. Do you just boost and end up in here and block Boba's straights? Because I think you have some risk of blocking your own 4K, which I guess is fine. I mean, Wedge will be stressed, and you're more than happy to change range 1 shots with Boba with Wedge.
absolutely.
With a 5, I should be clear, a 5-hole Boba.
Yeah, 5-hole Boba, and you're currently leading. I mean, granted, if he gets Wedge off the table, Fen can get really slippery with all these other ships. Wedge at least keeps Fen honest. So
I love seeing you can see the Wedge Antilles cardboard they have here is just fantastic, and the B-Wing dial covers here, they've really nailed it out of the park with all of the World's Prize. It's awesome to see it actually being used as
OP
well.
has done an amazing job this year. I think the prizes have been fantastic.
Definitely.
And the prize wall here was just great. They were very generous with tickets. Everybody pretty much got what they wanted.
Oh yeah, no, it's
So-
been a great time.
You can't 4 straight really with Boba. Like, you might predict the 2 bank and then the boost here, and so you do a 3 bank with Boba trying to get over it all, and that might give you a range 3 from Wedge, and that's
Yep.
basically
So-
the best you could hope for.
Here's a question for you: Are we in a risk begets risk situation with Finn? Do we just dive in here and because
You might, because I'm pretty sure Daniel can. I mean, I think it's the 1 bank here. I mean, this guy can't 1 bank, but he can 3 bank around here. 1 bank from Braylon, maybe barrel roll this way and stress
if you're
himself.
Daniel, it's not worth trying to point one ship at Finn. I
No.
wouldn't think, but he disagrees with me, and
Yeah.
I believe him.
We're just gonna be wrong on all the
I
calls
love
that
it.
we're making
It's
here.
fine.
Yep, this is why we're casting and not playing. So the 2 turn here from Fenn is suddenly looking really juicy, and I think I would do it because you know that he's going to start coming in hard at Boba, yeah, and he just wants to cast these nets, and with Blount too. Oh my gosh, Blount's going to get like a
it's-
3 or 4 die shot.
I wonder if Jake can get in there and give both of them focuses. I don't. The geometry looks complicated to make it happen, but
does. If there's somebody I think that can do it though, it's Daniel. Figure out a way. Yep. So he's going to barrel roll left.
interesting.
And
So
he
it
might
looks-
even purposely fail. Does it fit?
that's gonna clear. Yeah, he's fine
All
there.
right.
So this is interesting because if Finn did turn in, he just gets a free shot into a Z95 here, which I guess
Sure.
the sacrificial Z95 is, if I kill Boba Fett, you can have my Z. It's
Yeah.
fine. Here's
I'll
the consolation prize.
You can take Pinky there. I'll take
Yeah.
Pinky for Boba. That's just fine. So let's see if this is the 2 bank, and it is.
Yep. And wait,
There's a chant going on. I can't quite make
there's
it.
an awesome balcony above us because we're in a stadium, and there are people chanting from the bleachers, which is awesome. Hopefully they don't throw anything at us.
The bleachers are just overlooking the official FFG stream. So if you're watching from there, they basically have a higher vantage point than you
Yes.
if you have both open.
So here's where it looks like Daniel's in the same quandary we were. What does Jake actually do? How do we pass out as many focus tokens as possible and actually stay at range 1 of things?
So,
Looks like he wants his own focus and just a straight boost.
yep. And that blocks most of Boba's moves here, except for maybe that 3 bank. So we'll
Yeah.
see if that
And
comes out.
He could hard turn like to the right, for example, as well, couldn't he?
He could maybe do the 2 hard right.
It's-
I can't tell from that angle. The
Yeah.
1 hard,
Oh.
okay. Well, again, ignore
So
us.
Yep.
Did that clear?
I mean, he's already stressed, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, but
This
if
is-
you roll the crit here, like, here.
Oh.
Okay, safe.
Yep,
so
we're good. I think the dice cam's on.
we'll find out.
Yep. It's easy to fix if it's not. So triple stressed. I mean, at this point, we didn't bring Maul to not be super stressed.
Yep.
So
No. So there's the 4K from Wedge.
Yep.
Pretty clear. So he's got 4 arcs currently on Boba, it looks
Yep.
like.
He's got every reroll he could ever want, which is nice.
Yep. But, I mean, you can have every reroll on.
So here it is. The Z95 is here so
Mm-hmm.
that if he boosts to get a shot on Wedge, he's getting shot by the Z95. Very
Mm.
clever.
That's a really good trap laid there, because that
Yep.
would be a 3-die shot. I mean, he gets Concordia, but if he can't spend his mod then reliably.
And now, no matter what, he's going to have just the 3K on his Z to right here
Mm-hmm.
and have great shots lined up on Boba and Finn next turn. So that's awesome.
If Boba's there.
Very clever.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see some of the non-formation Rebel play because these ships are individually, well, I mean, Z95s aren't individually great, but they're just as good individually as they are in a group. So splitting them up like this, you can see, is incredibly effective.
I think the Z just a value piece in there. It's a
Yeah.
little blocker, and it's got a 2-die shot, and you just throw it in, and I think it's going to get more value than a lot of people are expecting.
Yep.
And like right here, we're talking about, he's keeping Fenn honest
Yep.
there. So not even boosting in. I kind of expected him to boost forward, try to get that range 1. He'd be stressed, and maybe he didn't like that position. So this is Wedge into Boba. Boba Natties.
I think he has about 18 rerolls over there.
So 1 damage into Boba there.
So if you're Boba here, are you going to Wedge or Jake? Because you might be able to just
Oh.
prox mine Jake off the board.
Yeah.
Fen.
So this is Fen. Oh, it is range 1.
Yeah, into that Z.
I guess so. It looked a little long to me.
I believe him.
Yep. So yeah, you're not really taking a shot here, so you may as well spend it.
Yep.
So you got 4. This could just wipe it off. Nope. Wow. So.
Just the shields. Z95.
Or wait, where was he shooting? Because he just.
Oh, it's range. Yeah, it's
He's
range.
checking crack shot
Yeah.
right now. Okay. So
So-
it takes 3 on pink.
Yep. And here's where the very rare case where like, man, where's my veteran tail gunner?
Oh my gosh. This is like the one time Boba really likes it. And there's this many ships. Check in for the shot on wedge. Oh wow, that's really close.
Yep. I imagine we'll get a third party in there if that's what he decides he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's really clear. It's hard to tell with the wedge model there.
Yep. And it just at the angle that everything's at. So, I mean, you might just be able to kill Jake with the proximity mine. If he rolls hit crit and he pulls a direct hit, like you may not even need to shoot him.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, I don't know. I think Jonathan's playing from a deficit. He needs to kind of take risks to
Right. Yeah.
give him the maximum.
The way you win by now is swinging for the fences. Yeah. So here's the range 1 shot into Jake. Looks like he's got as many rerolls as he could ever want.
Mm-hmm. And I assume he's going to maul here because he's already stressed.
Yeah.
Is there a limit on how many times you can refresh that?
Not that I'm aware of. I'll double check for us, but as far as I know, it's just take a stress. Yeah, after you suffer damage, you may gain 1 stress token to recover a force.
He's not doing it though. Thank you, Dio.
The rules master Dion.
That's why we bring him.
It's true. So there's 2 for Jake, and he's going to have an unfortunate meeting with a proximity mine should Boba survive here.
Yep, and that was 2 into Jake.
Yes.
All right.
2
So that's
from
2 hits
Jake.
from Jake. Got a reroll. Yep.
No. Oh, force crack shot, so still takes 1.
Yep. And all these crack shots really coming into play. That medium base.
4 cards on Boba. That's right. Yeah, he's
Yep.
hull upgrade.
So 3 hull left. Is that range 1 from Braylon? So that's a range 1, basically double modified
Yeah.
shot here.
Sounds like they said range 1 obstructed. And that is bad
Oh,
for
wow.
Boba.
So that's 2 crits. No, not obstructed.
Oof. So 3 crits,
Mm,
and that will be the end of Boba Fett.
yeah. So Boba immediately going down. Losing my mouse. There we go.
And there are not any shots that get to be into Finn Rao as far as I can tell now.
And
because
now
Boba's
Jake's not
gone.
coming off the board either.
Yep.
And so this is just a
That's a
huge.
huge swing.
This is looking really rough. Fenn has to do some major work here. And luckily, I don't think Daniel's in a great position to pursue Fenn, really.
Yeah, not this turn at least.
No. So he's got the 3 bank here from Fenn, and Daniel can 3K and kind of force him to keep
Yep.
honest so that he can't pursue too heavily because you,
Right.
I mean,
Well,
you have to pay
and Wedge
super
is going
KG.
to move first here too, and he can 1 bank and maybe not be on. If you're on a debris, that might be fine, but.
I don't think he ends up on the debris.
And then he's got a nice barrel roll from there to block
Mhm.
Finn, and then he starts getting range 2 shots from Z95s, and all of that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, I mean, a range 2 or 3 shot from Wedge. So I mean, what I'm expecting here is the 3K, the 1 bank here, barrel. I mean, Jake probably just 3 forwards and
Yep.
maybe boost this way. I'm
Yep,
not sure if that
just get
keeps
in the
him
way of
close.
things.
get in the way, and then also we might still be in range to pass the focus.
Well, they'd both be stressed, so it won't be able to help anyone. there.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
yeah,
and Braylon, honestly, he might just bank over the debris, right? Whatever.
He might, yeah. He may just not care at this point.
Yeah. And this Z has a kind of some rough life choices to make here because Jake's in his way, and
Well, they're the same initiative, so because it's Blount.
oh, that is Blount.
Yeah.
There
he
are
can
no hard life choices to be made at all. There was
No.
no danger at all.
So, I mean, Jake's able to just come up there, and Blount can K-turn.
Yep.
And if we're expecting, Fenn to boogie out, then you have a nice just arc for him next turn, and you're really going to force Jonathan to dodge more than get shots. And Jonathan right now needs to get shots.
Yeah, I mean, any out he can get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, you're in the position with aces where it's, well, I'm going to get shot. I'm going to get shot a lot, and my plan is to roll evades.
Yep.
And you just have to take those risks. And every now and then it makes you look really silly because it's like, well, why'd you get shot there? So if I didn't
had
get
to.
shot there, I was going to lose a time, which
Yep.
I'd rather take the 10% chance to win the game than the 0% chance to win the game.
10% of the time, it works every time.
Twitch chat, it'll be funny when we switch to the other table and Finn has killed everyone. Yep, I agree.
Yep.
I'm in for that timeline. Sounds fun.
Gonna revert off the prime time table.
Yep. So yeah, if your bet's in that direction, you cross your fingers.
Yep. Hope for natties for Jonathan. Pray
Yep.
for natties. Oh,
And it looks like we're actually waiting on Wedge's dial for Daniel. Interesting.
it is interesting.
And maybe he's less confident about the one bank, or maybe he's thinking, I'll just 2-turn with Wedge, whatever.
Well, and he may not be able to. So what I'm thinking is that he may just want to keep Jake kind of right here.
Yep.
As a just in case, and then the one bank isn't really.
And what do you think
Yeah.
of just ramming Wedge into Jake? 2 straight Jake, 1 straight Wedge, and just hang out? Is it too risky with Finn just 3-banking into you and ending Wedge?
No, I don't hate it because then if you part Jake right here, right, and Wedge just kind of bumps, it clears your stress. You're suddenly able to turn, and if that gets you behind Fenn,
Yep. And you could like 1 straight the Z or something, right?
Mhm.
Hang out here in the way, though that might not actually block things now that I look at it more.
I think it blocks the 1 and the 2 turn from Fenn if he decides that. If he thinks that this 3K is happening and he doesn't think that he can really be punished, he can 1-turn barrel roll, right?
Yeah.
So that's
And man, that's why these turns are so interesting because your regular like normal ace play, like if this were a standard board state, I would expect Finn to 3-bank left, 5 straight, just get out of here, right? And
Mhm.
we're gonna worry about this later. But he has 42 minutes, it's not
Yep.
enough time.
and he's got a big deficit
Yeah,
to make
he's
up.
got to make up
82 for?
83, yeah. Well, 82 to tie, but he's
Sure.
never gonna win that salvo.
No. So let's see. The 3K from Pink, the 2-bank from Jake, clearing the lane for Blount if he decides to K-turn. So I'm really interested to see what he does. I'm half expecting the barrel roll kind of right over here so that if Fenn does turn in, he's going to get Concordia, but Jake spent his crack shot, right?
Let's say Jake crack-shotted.
Jake and Wedge crack shotted.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get rid of those. So that we
There
can-
we are.
There.
And we'll double check the board. Crack shot still on, that looks like Blount
Blount and Braylon.
and Braylon.
Yep.
We're good.
Really getting value out of crack shot. And he does do the barrel roll.
Or he focused, and he's going to boost.
Well, he gets the free focus from the barrel roll.
Oh, did he bear? Okay, sorry, I looked away. Aha! This is how Jake works. That's right. Do whatever you want. It's fine.
I think the 1 turn is blocked. The 2 turn might still clear. He might just 2-turn in with Wedge.
And just
And yeah, just stay
Accept-
stressed and
and then if Finn does go that way, hey, look at this nice, 3 to 4 die
I
shot from
really
Blount.
like this with Blount.
Yeah, that's great.
Because if
that
he does 2-turn in here, Blount has a
Oh.
nice range 2 shot.
So
It's
does
going to be
Braylon.
3 dice. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's getting rerolls anyway. Whatever.
yeah, it's fine.
This is
Roll a
fine.
crit here, whatever.
Yeah.
Nope.
I have 4 shields. I didn't come here not to use them.
Yep.
So it looks
Oh.
like the one. Oh, nope.
1 bank.
Yeah. Looks like the 1 bank. Is he using Braylon to block him from getting on the debris?
Is this 800,000 million D chess? Yes.
Yep.
It might.
No, I don't think it hit.
Yep.
Oh, no, it did. Okay.
2 bank. Yep. So Finn is hanging out in the middle of. Actually,
Yeah,
the
no, Jake
getting
just
blocked
blocked him.
there. The arc dodges most things. So he's gonna get that Z will have a range. Looks like 2 shot
Mm-hmm.
with no mods. Which as far as getting blocked here could go, that is not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Looks like I'll have a crack shot on Wedge in exchange, which is great. Oh, he already spent crack shot. Speaking of crack shots, get out of here.
Hmm. And they're just marking
the
him, making
template
sure
out.
to keep the game state nice
Yep.
and clean.
Nothing but time. So
Yeah, may as well just do it, get it right. So Fenn with no mods. It's a 2-die unmodified shot against 3 dice, but you can still push damage through on Fenn here. Maybe not much, but
right.
every point matters right now. So Jonathan
Every
checking.
damage is a quarter of your total damage that needs to be dealt to win the game.
Yep.
Yep. Finn just wants to get Wedge out of here because, speaking of scary random stray shots, wedges are the scariest.
Yep. So Wedge getting the evade. And so now we have the shot back, I just think, from Pink here.
I think so. Yeah,
It's
Braylon's. Yep.
Oh, it is range 1.
Oh, and that's great for Finn. I mean,
Yeah. He much prefers the range 1 to the range 2. Oh, in the box.
all right. He did his best. That's all we can
Tried.
ask. Good job, Z95.
Rolled the dice anyway. Good job, guys. Keeping the game state clean. All right. So this next round, Jonathan's position is rough. There's a lot of potential blockers here
Yep.
that can block most of what Fen can do.
Right, including Blount's just one straight, stay there,
Exactly.
block the 5 straight.
Block the 5 straight. So I'm looking at this and I'm just like, the 3 Talon roll here is just very.
It's savage.
You're gonna get double stressed, but I don't
Whatever.
think you care.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That means, I mean, you're going to get stressed at singular stressed at a minimum, no matter
Right.
what, just from happenstance of bumping Wedge or Braylon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though I do think we're all excited about these. One of the ways you can lose a game in this position if you're Daniel Taylor is getting excited to punish Finn, and
Yep.
suddenly you take the 3 Talon roll with Wedge, you end up double stressed. He one shots someone.
Yeah, Blount or gets Jake or the Bandit off the table.
Yep, and then Wedge happens to do nothing.
Yep. And suddenly, just pieces start to disappear because Jake's at 2 health, the Bandit's at 1 health here.
Yep.
So I mean, those can disappear really easily.
Yeah, there's 3 ships on the table that Finn Rao can, within reason, kill in one shot.
Yes.
The 2 Zs and Jake.
He
I mean-
could even do Wedge, but that's
That would be very
that
difficult.
would be very difficult. If he did it though, good
Yes.
lord.
Oh, I had a quick draw with 10 damage cards on them yesterday or the day before. So.
Was that in the pawns?
No, that was in my regular Swiss. It was a hull
Oh
breach
my
and then
God.
3 direct hits.
Oh my god.
And some fuel leaks.
Correct.
it was a rough lot in life.
Oh. So Fenn's down. Daniel, it looks like he's debating Wedge here. We'll see what he decides on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this as Finn. I got nothing. I have no good plan. It's not a spin your dial and hope situation, but it feels like there's definitely.
Yeah.
I believe in his ability to do something very good.
Yes.
But it just seems difficult to parse what good even means.
Yeah. So I mean, the 2 bank on the Z's is blue, right? So
I believe so. I'll
yeah.
double check and make sure we get it right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep, 2
Yeah.
banks.
So I'm expecting that here from Pink because I think it blocks the 2 turn. I think it blocks everything but the 1 turn.
Right.
So Fen might have 1 turned here, but Jake might have just 1 turned in.
Right.
Right. And if he did that,
Yeah.
I imagine that Daniel is just setting up. Oh, he just does the 1 forward. Maybe he'll do the barrel roll
Yeah,
here,
I think
or
that
he's
blocks
just
the 1 and the 2. It looks like.
yes. So now I'm looking at like the 3 bank.
Yeah.
I mean, those were the ideal situations. I think you get the 1 or the 2 turn or the 2 or the 3 bank from Fen kind of
It's just
out.
3 straight from Jake. It looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't care about the cloud. No consequences.
Yep. You don't get to do any fancy Jake things, but I mean, what's
You don't need
Finn
to.
gonna 1 turn
Yeah.
and shoot you through a gas cloud? That seems fine.
Yeah. I think you take that every day. So we're doing Braylon first here.
Yep.
Looks like he's doing the 1 bank. I think he's going over the debris again. It looked like it was sticking out just a little bit. So we'll see if he stays stressed here. Oh, well. Yeah, so it looks like he went over the debris. That blocks the kind of 2 straight.
Yep.
Yep. No consequences. 4K from Blount.
I like it.
It's so we'll see what Wedge does then, because it means that the 5 straight, and maybe what Daniel's thinking is that, he knows that I know that I can 1 forward
Yep.
and block the 5 straight, and since he knows that I know,
Well,
then-
and I'm nervous it's the 5 straight now because that debris got shuffled ever so slightly, and I would hate
Mhm.
for it to be meaningful at this point.
yeah, and they could have recreated its position a little bit if they had kind of moved Braylon back, and done it, but that seems like a lot of
Yep,
work.
there's the Talon roll for Wedge.
Yep. Onto the gas cloud, but you're getting double stressed anyway, so
Yeah, whatever. Suffer all the no consequences.
Yep. Let's see if he rolls a die for the debris here. There it is.
Nope.
Yep. Nope. Obstacles just not going to be a factor. Oh.
Hey, there it is. Finn Rao walks away. Well as he possibly could. That was definitely the optimal move.
Good
Like
job
if
on
you got to
Jonathan.
set your dial now, that would be what you dialed in.
That's what you
Fantastic
do.
play.
So, yeah, great job on Jonathan predicting where Daniel was going to try to block and getting out of there. We'll see. I think you still got those 2 Z95 shots. You have to boost out, I think, because Blount right now is getting 3 dice on you.
Yes, which seems bad.
Yeah, and I think that's range 2. So, I mean, that's 3 on 3. You could take the focus to make it modified, but I don't think you want to take that risk right now.
And
So
the problem is if you left boost or something, all of Jake's blocks start getting very scary.
I think you right boost.
Yep.
Honestly.
And then, yeah, my natural instinct would be to left boost. You know, it's going to take Wedge a long time to get turned around facing you there. But, you know, if you get blocked by Jake, you probably die. If you go right, yeah, now Wedge is suddenly a threat again, which is also scary.
Yep. But
no great options.
You don't have to worry too much because Braylon can't turn around.
Yeah.
You know, you have Blount over here who can come forward, but Fenn is very much able to just kind of come in and delete.
And,
Blount.
you know, Wedge might hurt you for it, and that's just going to be something you have to deal with.
Well, he's not going to get an action, Wedge next turn, so at least you'll know it's unmodified. And, you know, at this point, that might just be what you have to hope for. So it looks like we're doing Blount. Range 3 through the debris, hit, crit. He's got the focus. So 5 dice here from Fenn.
Oh, there's some hold up. I'm not sure what. Oh, just double checking the obstruction.
Oh, okay. Yep, there's checking the angle on that. Got it.
Wow.
I think that's an evade.
Yeah,
at the
that's an
bottom.
evade.
Yep. Whew.
And then there'd be one more shot from a Z that'll be a little
that's
probably
obstructed
also
too,
obstructed.
I think. Yeah.
Double checking crack shot. I like it. Oh, that would have been rough.
Oh my.
But man, those crack shots though, they just happen sometimes. Like,
well, there's 4 of them in the list, right? So like you're gonna get them, especially when you're flying against bigger base things.
Yep.
And so I mean, it's great. You're just pushing extra damage through, and you're forcing you're putting them on a clock. Like I'm going to kill things. Nothing. So
you tried whatever color that Z95 is. You did your best. That's all we can ask.
It's pink.
It's pink.
What color does it look like to you?
I don't know. I don't even know where the color on it is.
It's right in the middle, right there.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's pink.
Now it's yellow. You guess.
Whatever. I'm not worried about it.
All right, so Fenn, I don't think can come in here. Like I want to, and I think that you may even have to be aggressive.
I was gonna say,
but the one bank like just punishes.
I mean, we just had this conversation. You have to, right? You don't have a choice.
I know.
You don't get a vote.
I know,
you
but
have to opt in.
I think that's range 2.
Where's Dion? You have to opt into violence. It's just time. It's time for violence. It's probably going to go poorly for you, but it's the cut. Your movie doesn't matter.
Yep. Play to win.
If you lose 200 to 31 versus 113 to 31, you still lost.
Yeah.
You got to go for it.
Attention, 30 minutes left of the round. 30 minutes remaining for extra
Yes, this is Finn Rao's violence. Yeah, so we're watching Daniel in a pretty commanding position, and Jonathan's basically doing his best to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Boba evaporated.
Just
got caught at range 3 by rebel ships, and they did half of him the first turn and the other half the second turn.
Yeah, just and I think Jonathan came in too aggressive, and so we'll see how this ends up, but I don't know. It's just so rough. I mean,
when we were saying like you just have to 2-turn in, right?
Yeah.
There's no time to do anything else,
So
and
since
that's probably going to end really badly. But
he needs 83. I'm trying to do the math here.
Yeah.
So if you need 83, you need to like kill Braylon or Wedge and get half the other.
Yeah,
And
or
even then, that's not enough.
So if you kill both of these, that's 60.
Sure. Well, he's already got half on him, though.
Yeah, I'm
right?
saying combined.
Sure.
Right, that'd be 60 plus, and then say Wedge would be 100 and
103, 106. excuse me.
106. Yeah, I mean, so even
16.
if so that would do it.
That would do
Those
it.
three, but that that's asking a lot.
Yeah.
Like
so
a lot.
killing both Jake and Bandit and then Braylon.
Yeah,
puts you
without
at
taking 2
112.
damage.
Without taking 2 damage. And that's going to be the real thing, is that he just,
Oh yeah, you're right. It can't be Braylon. It has to be
it
Wedge.
has to be Wedge at this point. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
or you
Braylon
could
would be
do
112.
Blount and half of either,
Yeah.
but you have to kill Blount as well. So it's just so much damage that has
It's
to
a
be
lot
dealt.
that has to be done in these 28 minutes. And so, and with still 5 ships from Daniel, it's just going to take time for the planning and the movement. And so it just may not be time that Jonathan has.
It looks like we're waiting on a dial for.
I think-
Oh, that's everyone. I think it's just double checking.
I think Daniel is just debating some of his moves here. Taking his time,
Yep.
making sure that he gets it right. So I think you probably 1 turn up the board here with Jake and boost, like boost focus. So you're going to end up kind of up here, and then you're going to boost, and then I mean, no matter where Fen goes, I mean, unless he boogies out, but if Fen gets out, I think that's just conceding the game at that point.
Right. I mean, there's a chance you can get over here and then turn back in and set dials really quickly.
But he just doesn't have enough time to do
yeah,
that
I mean,
much damage.
you're betting a whole lot that your rebel opponent can set dials fast enough for you to win,
Mm-hmm.
which is a scary place to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. So just the 2 turn here from Pink. Pink was not stressed. He cleared that stress last turn. So predicting the turn in here from Fen. I'm trying to tell if that barrel roll could fit, if he barrel rolls like left and forward. Like ends up right kind of up here.
Yeah, it's hard to
It's
tell.
hard to tell.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I
I'm
think
not
it clips
great
that
at
back
parallel
edge.
lines, but it's well. All right, I'm not even gonna try that. I give up.
It's hard
but I
to
think-
tell illustrated.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, you get a quarter of the base from the midpoint
It just
to
stays
where the
there.
line is.
Yeah,
It's like
stays there and
Braylon.
stresses.
Next round. Do you just target lock here? I mean, you're Braylon, so it feels silly,
Yeah,
but
do you need to? I guess you could.
he'll grab a target lock. That's
So-
they're very rarely seen Braylon target lock.
Mm-hmm. One thing I know about Daniel Taylor, he's very good at keeping track of the game state and the points. Like he's always writing down the points before the game, so he
Not
knows
here,
it-
he's not.
well, before the game.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, if you don't know at Worlds, they said you can't mark points during the game,
right.
but before the game you can get the
Yeah, you can
point
get the
totals
list
of your
out,
ship.
write everything down,
And so he's very meticulous about making sure that he gets the point values and he knows exactly where he
Yeah.
is. If he's behind, he knows how much he's behind and what exactly he needs to do. And I would think that that's something that you just need to do now, just to keep track of exactly where the board state is and know how much you need to come back and how aggressive. And I assume Jonathan's in that same point. I saw him writing down point totals as well. They were both very very courteous with it. So they got the barrel roll and the boost. I like this because again you know that Fen has to be aggressive, and if not, you're just conceding the game.
right.
So you're setting yourself up with just lots of arcs.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is if Finn bugs out, ends up over here. Ends up over here.
Nope. Oh, let's try hitting. Nope.
All right. No more telestrating. All right. Oh well. If Finn takes a left turn, Jake can just get behind him really easily and just stay there.
Yeah.
And let me get that fixed. I'll be right back.
So the 1 bank from Wedge, that was pretty clear. Clears 1 stress, not going to get an action. That's not really that big of a deal. So we'll look and see what Fen does here. He 2 turned away. Oh, so we talked about this. This is the safe move. It's going to keep Fen alive. You're not going to take much damage, but there's a clock running, right? We're at 24 minutes left. Jonathan has 83 points he needs to get to make up to win this game. Here comes Dion. Technical difficulties.
Like the picture? Did it freeze?
Oh, nope, never mind. Telestrator's working fine.
All right. I just needed Dion to look at it the right
Oh, if the mouse cord touches the screen, the signal will mess with it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dion. Yep, and looks like Jonathan looking for more time.
Yep. So he's going to come out. He's probably debating the focus here because you are taking one shot from Blount. I mean, you would hate to just take,
Yeah.
you know, a 2-die hit
Well,
here.
and there's so little reason not to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're restricting yourself from your 3-bank, your 4 and 5 straight.
But those aren't moves you're going to want to make. I mean, the one turn is really
Right.
the one that you want. But even then, I'm not even sure I'd make the one turn because you got Jake here who can just turn in
Yeah,
and like
just be
barrel
all
roll
up in
and
your
yeah,
way.
the boost. So it just feels really bad from Jonathan. Daniel's done a really good job of just making every aggressive position that Jonathan needs
Yep.
A bad decision.
Boxing him out and keeping him out.
Mm-hmm.
And all these shots they're scary.
Yeah.
And they're not super high probability to do a lot of damage, but I mean,
Yeah,
all it
there's 2
takes is
hits.
one roll that's poor, and he's
Jonathan was ready to spend that focus. He was so ready.
scarred by crack shot.
Oh, so
Then again, so that last turn was 7 minutes. I think they started planning around 30-minute left mark. So if we
Yep.
do some basic extrapolation, that's maybe 4 or 5 turns left, which means we're in a ship has to die every single turn for Jonathan territory, which is,
and he has to not lose to a hole,
yes, not lose 2 hole.
right? So at some point he's going to have to commit and just hope that the greens work out for him.
Right.
I don't think he's going to get the engagement that he wants. And I mean,
Granted, every ship he removes, if he's able to, speeds the game up decently.
yes, that much more. So I think if you're Daniel, you kept Blount stressed here, right? So just commit to the commit to the system, right? And then just 3-turn here, and I think the 3-turn just sets it up really well.
Is there? So, I mean, the nice thing is you can choose your order of operations on these two,
Yeah.
Jake and Blount. So you can do some.
I think you turn Blount first,
Yeah.
or not Blount. Sorry, excuse me, Jake. You turn him in first, get him out of the way.
Yeah, and then you
barrel.
can like 2-turn
Mm.
Blount and roll, or 2-bank and roll, or do really a large setup. But yeah, I
I
mean,
think I like the turn more.
yeah, I was gonna say defense coming in. You're right. Let's do it. Let's go.
Like you may as well, right? Because Fenn's probably turning down. I mean, he might bank, but if he banks, I don't know. Fenn's just looking in the wrong direction, and he keeps looking in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Probably get the one Talon here from Braylon going this way, so he's going to end up like right here.
Actually, I have a question. Yeah, is there any reason to Talon roll? Like, there's no way Finn ends up in range, right? So is the 1-turn not just, or the 2-turn not just
You
easier?
could turn barrel roll up,
Yeah, and then
um,
2-turn again.
but I mean, Fenn's going to be way out here, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that gives you the one bank this way. I think you could do either.
yeah, that's probably hard to be wrong there.
Yeah. Braylon's not really in a position that.
Looks like our pink Z95 is gonna
3-turn and
Just
focus.
focus. probably out of the fight for a turn.
There's the 2-turn from Jake, clearing that stress.
Yep, and the angles here are hard to tell the specifics of, and they matter a lot.
Yeah. I don't think that you can barrel roll and boost past him, so you're probably just. I don't know. I might have almost even just banked the target lock.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he's got it. And the nice thing there is if Finn 2 turns, I believe he's blocking the barrel roll, which is the
Mhm.
big win.
So he can't come in, so that leaves Fenn with like a 2-turn boost.
Yep. And it's going to be hard to get out of range 1 for Blount.
Mm-hmm. Blount just takes a lock. So Daniel, yeah, just playing patient, making sure that he's in a position where he can't really get shot. I mean, yeah, Fenn is stressed. I was just thinking like, well, Fenn Talon roll would be really good, but
I love that B-Wing model. It's so cool.
it is cool. So there's the Talon roll with Braylon because it just doesn't matter. And that gives you the mods too on the offense. If Fenn happened to 2-turn and like boost, you might have a range 3.
Yep.
I don't know. It looks pretty far.
Yeah, and it's hard for Fenn to even get real shots this turn now, unless he
Mhm.
did something like Talon roll, which he can't, as it turns out, when you're stressed.
Nope. Basic game mechanics are important.
And so Fenn has gotten behind everything, as it were, now
Yeah.
with 19 minutes.
With
So we'll see.
he can boost and get a
Yeah, shot into wedge.
range
2 or 3
2 or
obstructed.
3 obstructed shot in the wedge who has a focus. It's not great, but I mean,
Yeah,
you
take
need
what
to
you can
kill
get.
wedge.
Maybe you can hit him for 3.
You got to take the chance. I think you have to do it. It puts you in a not great position, but I
Yep.
think you have to.
Looks like this turn's gone by a decent amount faster than the last. I guess
Mhm.
the slightly less difficult decisions to make.
So you can notice the posture here. You see the hands on the table, getting over. That's the thinking pose, the X-wing thinking pose.
It's good to know.
Boost forward. I don't like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. Jonathan's playing with fire, and that fire is burning.
It's very hot.
It's
It's quite warm.
It is very warm. He's only got a little bit of time left before that fire just comes burning down.
But I mean, Finn Rao can swing so hard, so fast if it all goes right.
That's right.
It just turns out that he needs at least 3 shots,
Yeah.
and they'll have to be very high damage shots.
So we started that last round at, what, 22 minutes?
23.
23. So it's a 5-minute round. So it's
Yep.
3 to 4 more rounds if they're playing at the same pace. If you're Jonathan, what are you doing here? His dial's already down. He knows.
The fact that it was down that fast make me think it's like a 4 straight, right? Get down
Mhm.
here and just go trade range 1 shots with Braylon.
It's a 3 bank on the it's red, right? Yeah, so you
For
can't do that.
B-wings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I have trouble telling on these.
The problem is the math for that doesn't work out, as we saw.
Yeah.
Unless you could hit Braylon for half, which would be 26, which would be more than halving or killing Jake or the Bandit.
But yeah, it's still just not enough, and MOV doesn't matter, right? Don't play for MOV. You got to play for the win right now.
And okay, he did not. Yeah, there's no reason to link focus. There's no shots on him, obviously.
Yeah. So you have target locks from. Oh, Braylon has that target lock bank too.
He does.
So he doesn't even need to like barrel roll for
No,
stress
you
here.
can
So
just,
you
like,
just
one bank
Yeah,
focus.
you just one bank right here, and you're focusing, and you're just gonna cast an arc like this.
Yeah, and even, I mean, honestly, the barrel roll's pretty good as well. You can do the same thing for here, and I don't know that Finn can get around you. Because, if he
Mhm.
goes flying past you and boosts around,
Yep.
whatever, right? It's fine.
I mean, that's what you want because then he's still not getting shots, and he's
Yep.
still not.
Granted, you'll be stressed and stuck there, which is unfortunate, but
I don't think it.
we're getting close to the point of, like, okay, well, all my ships are out of position, but he actually just doesn't have enough turns to get ahead, like, to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, I don't know how good of a view of the game round they have. There's a very large crowd gathered around the table. I assume, we haven't been able to catch it on the table, Mike, but I assume they're keeping track of the time.
Yeah, the clock's kind of across the room for
Yeah.
X-Wing right now, so all the crowd might be blocking it, so they may not realize that there's only 16 minutes left here.
I assume we'll get an announcement in about a minute, but
Mhm. So, if I'm Daniel, I'm probably like 3-turn or 2-turn and boost.
yep, just go around.
Yep, like a 2-turn here because you got the target lock focus.
Yep, and I mean, basically everyone just 2-turn in, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice, simple turn.
Keep these S foils closed. 2-turn boost.
Yep.
Like
Maybe not even bother focusing.
4K. All right, again, ignore us. Wedge gets bumped. High level commentary here as we are successfully not predicting any move.
Yeah. And this might be Daniel's like, okay, time to just leave with everything.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you might just be able to run. It doesn't seem like it's really the style.
Yep. Nope. Just
4K.
Just get everybody back to that side of the board. Makes sense.
Yeah, just cast those arcs in and say, hey, you know, burden's on you right now.
You know what the problem is? We play too many Aether sprites.
That's true.
Yeah, there it is. Just get everything grouped back up out here. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want, Finn, as long as it's on the other side of the board.
Yeah. I'm going to go play over here with my points.
Yep. And you can go play over there without them.
Yep.
Braylon, I'm sorry. That's just how it is, man.
So it's very safe here from Daniel, making the choice to just say, you know what? If you're not going to fight me, then I'm just going to run away with my points.
Yep.
And I'm end the game.
They just let him know 15 in the round.
So they just got told 15 minutes, so they know the times in the round.
And it looks like it might be difficult for Finn to get a shot not through a gas cloud based on that barrel roll.
Mm-hmm. Because Finn doesn't have that double reposition, he can't, like, ideally you would want to, like, 2-forward barrel boost.
Yeah,
but he's not Soonter, right? You can't do that. You've only got the one.
And yeah, Wedge just going to boost around.
Yep.
Go ahead and hide back out on the side of the board. I really like it.
It's
fantastic.
It's really, really good play. I mean, it's not the exciting move, but it's the right move to win the game. Yep.
Wow. Yep. Takes the turn in.
Wow.
And that's
Daniel
gonna be
called this beautifully. Look at this, because now he's got Blount here. You got Braylon here. If he boosts down or he boosts in, you're going to get this bandit as well.
Yep.
Like, this is just a beautiful setup from Daniel
Yeah,
Taylor.
and, I mean, you just have to boost, right? And honestly, you might have to boost and not focus.
I think you. No, I think you focus.
Oh, just focus here. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
it feels bad.
That hurts. We got a
Is that-
range 3 through a gas cloud into wedge. Ouch.
Wedge with auto thrusters.
Yep.
I never thought I'd see the day.
We left that game in the past.
Oh, they're checking range right now. It looks really close. They're checking. Oh, he's out.
Not even going to get to try.
And I think Jonathan knows that he has to get wedge to win the game, and that's why he was looking there.
So,
The game behind us just finished.
all right,
That's what
Braylon
all the
range 1 and
cheering was
defend.
there.
And there it is.
Wow. So he's going to get the free Concordia.
Yep, I see. All right, if he rolls anything, he's fine.
Yep, any paint, and he
So
takes no
5
damage.
and 8, no problem. 3 and 8, suffering. Suffering it
Right,
is.
taking 1. So still not at half, but not
Yep.
good.
Yeah, the second he takes that other damage, I think the game's actually officially over.
Well, and since this is range 1, that's big, because Blount here
Yep. is
now has a
3-die
3-die
with
shot
a target lock.
with a target lock at range 2, it
Range
looks
2.
like. And that's not what you want if you're Jonathan right now. So here comes the 3-die shot from Blount. Oh, wish he had a focus.
Yeah, but this is nightmare scenario for Finn.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets 2.
Even 2.
Why is he
it's-
rolling?
It's too many dice.
That's too many dice.
Uh-oh.
Chris is going to go talk to them about that. He rolled too many dice on that Fen dodge. So we're getting them on that right now, letting them know. But looking at this game state, I don't know how Jonathan comes back in 10 minutes. It's very difficult. He's going to have such an uphill battle. You've only got 11 minutes. I'm not even sure there's enough time. Because again, if you're just joining us, he has to kill Wedge, and he has to finish Jake and the Bandit, because he needs 83 points to win. And that's the only way you can do it, because you end up with 60 with these two, and then if you add him in there, it's 52. That ends up at 112, 1 point short of Daniel Taylor. So if you're Fen, okay, it was a range 3 shot, so that's why he rolled 4 dice. So it's all right. They rolled the correct amount of dice. We were wrong again. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Thanks, Brent. We're good. Just misleading stream angle.
Yep.
I was scared. My life flashed before my eyes.
Luckily, everything's just fine. So jeez. So you can't go straight at all because you got that debris, and then you're just conceding the game.
Yeah.
You need.
I mean, you could. There's the go all out strategy. 4K right over the debris.
Get Fenrir's health right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and hope you don't roll a crit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
It's not a good
jeez.
plan.
No, it's not.
That might be the worst possible option.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, your best possible option is 2-turn, and it's bad.
Right.
I really don't like it. But I don't know what else you do. You're going to have
I have
Braylon
nothing
behind
else.
you. Because Braylon probably, like, 1 banks, focuses, and, like, barrel rolls. Because
Right.
even
Yeah,
if you
I mean,
fail it, whatever.
you don't want to let Finn just talent roll on you, right? He
Yeah.
probably won't, but there's nothing to lose from just 1 banking barrel rolling.
Well, and
so you
again,
might as well.
Braylon doesn't win him the game.
Yes.
So
Though that math is close enough that I'm not sure that I.
trust that they know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like I think they don't know. It's just I'm not sure that I would be planning around it.
Well,
if I-
if he 1 banks and barrel rolls, like, that's blocking the Talon.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, this is. I suspect we'll see a fiery explosion of Finn Rao this turn.
I I mean, Jonathan's been finding ways to avoid the shots
It's
so
true.
far, so maybe he finds another way. Like right now, it looks like he could maybe one turn and barrel roll kind of up here, but I mean that's still giving you a double modified Braylon shot behind you. Wedge is gonna come in. It's gonna be range 2 to 3. Like, it's really bad.
It's a rough spot.
Blount, just doing a one straight. Yep. No reason to be super aggressive. You're still going to get your extra die. 2 straight
Taking
from
the 2
Braylon.
straight. That just blocks all the turns, it looks like.
Well, he might try to focus barrel roll left,
Yeah.
stress himself, and then, yep.
Though I guess, yeah, I don't know that you block the 2 turn right, and I also don't think you care.
If he does the 2 turn right, he's conceding the game.
Yeah.
So, activating wedge. I think he's debating the S-foils right now. I think you just keep him shot for the boost. Because, I mean, it just doesn't matter, right? Like, you'll take a 2 die shot, 2 die for 2 die.
Yeah, seems fine.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're just racing against the clock here, and we're quickly running out of clock.
Yep. So there's wedge, and it looks like the barrel roll to wedge's left might fit here. Nope, nope. I think Daniel Taylor knows that Jonathan's win condition is killing wedge, so he just barrel rolls out and says, look, I'm going to give you the worst shot possible on me. It's going to be a range 3, and you're going to have to come into this
like horrible nightmare trap.
This nightmare corridor that I've created. That's just the
this hall of pain.
Welcome, welcome. Like, oh,
hi,
man.
Finn Rao.
Yeah. Double telestrator going right now.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you got it. You're good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do other than just focus there. The boost and barrel rolls certainly don't help. You could barrel roll out of Braylon, but you need to kill. Yeah, that's
you boost forward maybe to get a range 2. Well, no, you don't want the range 2. Yeah, no.
He's deleting Pink, it looks like. Goodbye, Pink.
Yep.
Farewell.
So Pink ends up at negative.
Yeah, negative a lot of health.
Yeah.
Sadly, it won't let us go into the negatives.
Seeing how far we can go. Oh, the direct hit, too.
There it is, the 5 damage card Z95.
5 damage cards on that Z95.
Farewell.
Goodbye, number Pink.
Yep. The funny thing is, playing ships that are worth so little makes devalues a ship like Finn Rao quite a bit because, you know, that's 5 damage he could have done to something else. 4 damage.
And all he did was take out an extra 11 points from that. So Braylon getting the reroll from the stress. So there's 4 hits. Braylon doing what he does best.
Hey!
Oh, gets Concordia.
Easy
clap. Can I get some natties in the chat?
There you go.
There we go. So we're checking for range
1. If Finn Rao's
if that's range 2, this is. Oh no. It looks like
I suspect we're gonna have a judge check that one.
Yep.
There it is.
Just called for a judge. Daniel Taylor said that it looks like range 2.
He did.
So
I'm not sure if that's it looks like range 2 or if it looks like I really want this to be range 2.
Yeah. Oh man. So checking the wiggle room.
Yep.
Range 1. All right.
Finn Rao breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah. Still has his focus. But this is a 4 die shot. Another one. Oh.
That's all right. This is fine. I believe in Jonathan. All right.
Nope.
Slightly less.
All right.
So he's taking
hit
2.
Crit. Well, hit crit.
Which is?
Structural? Oh, no. It's
it disabled power regulator.
Disabled power regulator, it was. Racking my brain.
It probably doesn't matter. I don't know that he's going to.
He's already engaged, but next turn he's going to be Ion.
Right.
And that's actually huge because.
Oh, he won't be able to turn around.
He won't be able to turn around.
Right.
He has to turn around this turn.
Yep. And like 4K in front of Wedge style turnaround.
Yeah,
right.
And hope that Wedge turned in front of you. And I mean, I think we've seen that Daniel Taylor's just not going to make that mistake because I think that's game.
Yeah. I would say it would take a large mistake to get out of that hole.
Yeah. Well, and he's got half on Fen now.
Yep.
So
to win. Jonathan needs to destroy 107, which is like Wedge and Braylon, without taking a damage with an Ion, which seems very difficult. From
Well,
the
he can
current
only
board.
focus now. He couldn't do anything anyway. I'm just trying to point out the new rule.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate
high
that.
level commentary here in the top 8.
Oh my. Oh my.
Well, I mean, what do you say at this point, man? It's just been rough. Like,
this has been a really rough
Jonathan
game.
got into a deficit so early, and he's just
Yep.
been trying to dig himself out.
Yeah, I wonder what happened early. Was the Boba boost slightly misjudged? He was hoping for range 3 on a couple shots, and then it ended up
Maybe.
being 4. Or,
Yeah.
'cause, I mean, obviously that was not the plan, right?
Maybe he thought he was going to get this obstruction on like the
Yeah.
Braylon shots, and so he thought he was going to have a little bit
Yeah,
more
and-
dice. And
And I mean, honestly, like he did not roll particularly well, but
Mm-mm.
like so maybe Boba should have survived maybe another turn. But even if he'd survived another turn, it was still a very rough spot to be in. I think it's just slightly
Yeah.
botched engagements, which
Mm-hmm.
happens all the time, but just outright like very heavily punished for it.
Just a 1 straight here, just calling Fen out,
Yep.
saying, "Look, you need to kill more points than you're going to be able to."
Than I think are mathematically possible at this point.
Yeah.
I think
So-
the other Twitch stream is misbehaving. I don't know what's going on.
Dion's having
He's-
trouble here.
He's broken. Dion, come back, Dion.
Duncan broke him. Dion has collapsed onto
on
the
the-
table
yep.
and is crying right now.
Yep. He's making his best Finn Rao impersonation at the moment.
Oh, no. Rip. Oh, too soon, man.
Hey, it can't be too soon. It's in the future.
It's still too soon. It's on the wall, man. Like, what do you do? They're holding a wake for him already. Like, the man's
Oh.
alive, and there's a
Yep.
procession right now for Fen Rao. And Jonathan's world's dreams.
Yes.
So Braylon bumps, doesn't get his mods, but it really doesn't matter. I think he's just going to 3-bank boost here. Nope. 4 straight boost. He closes S-foil, so I'm assuming he's going to
Yeah.
focus boost here.
Because if Finn Rao even gets a shot on Wedge, he's off the board.
Yep.
Or not necessarily off the board, but,
But-
facing the wrong direction with 1 minute left.
In a position where all of Daniel's ships are going to be able to easily know where he's going.
Is it the 4K? I'm in. Give me the 4K.
Do it.
Yeah. That looks like a 4K.
I think you
I'm
had
in.
to.
Yeah, I mean, you legitimately had to. There was no other option because you're 1-straighting next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so Finn Rao needs to take this shot, destroy whichever ship it is in front of him that's Blount, which
It's
is
full.
feasible.
Feasible, but he has to natty
Yeah,
out.
not die to Braylon, and
Yeah.
then 1 straight, and then 1 shot.
Braylon.
2 ships.
Yeah.
That's going to be, all right, we're asking a lot here.
Come on, Ben. All right, so here's
Right.
the 5
But
dice
maybe we
shot.
can make Blount regret the damage he did earlier.
Yep.
2. All right,
2.
that in fact will not do it. Oh,
Disrespect.
Blount with the disrespect
Oh,
evades.
no.
All right, and then that's an Ion token for Finn Rao. That's an,
Did they put the ion down?
I don't know if that's, I don't know, that's a lock
Is that
token.
the ion? No, yeah, that's a lock.
All right, they got it. We're
there it is. Hey.
Oh,
Wow,
that-
natties.
this might be the end of Finn Rao. It is the
There
end
it
of
is.
Finn
Can
Rao.
we get some natties in chat for the end of that game? I told you. See, now they're carrying the body into the wake.
Well, I'm very impressed with, I mean, both players, of course,
Yes.
but Jonathan hanging on for, I mean, we kept saying maybe it's time to turn in, maybe
Yeah.
it's time to turn in, but
He kept
What-
biding his time and
he did-
waiting.
I mean, he did, but I'm amazed at how long he survived. Even if my, we hit the objective survive scenario with
Mhm.
Finn Rao there, I don't think I would have expected him to have lasted that long.
No. But Daniel Taylor just played this masterfully. He was setting up those arcs. He ran away when he should have. He made all the right decisions. Like I mean, just looking at this, I'm like, yeah, get aggressive, chase Fen down. But he played it patient. He's
Yep.
like, no, I'm winning right now.
Yeah,
I don't
especially
need.
when he took his entire list and basically just regrouped up here.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there's no hurry.
Yep.
Even if you kill one of my ships for me to regroup, it's worth it. It's
Yep.
fine.
I'm going to make sure that I'm going to set up an angle that if you do, I mean, come for my ships, which you have to do, I'm going to be in a position that I can punish with any of my other ships. So really well played by Daniel. Moving on to the top 4.
Yeah, and I believe we're going to be transitioning to the top 4 soon. I don't know if there's a break.
It looks like the other game is still going. It looks like they're in the last round.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, time was just called, so
Yeah.
I would hope it's the last round.
I hope so too. Well, they might just put down dials or something, but it looks like dice are being rolled.
Yep, I hear a lot of clapping, though that might be the stream game.